Hello everybody, this is Soniv.
And this is WaveOfShadow coming at you live with the AHGL Week 4 game between Google. Wait, hold on. I have to remember this. Yes. I was like, hold on. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, yes. Google versus Ernst&Young.
Yep. And we are going to jump right into the ban phase. We have Rumble being banned first. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I got this. Oh, I don't got it. Here.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. I'm on it.
Alright, we do have Rumble as our first ban from Ernst&Young. We're going to refer to them as E&Y from here on out, just because Ernst&Young is a bit of a mouthful. Rumble is a strong top champion. Don't see him banned too often, though. And we were just talking about Lux.
I was just talking about Lux.
And what were you saying about Lux?
I was saying that Lux needs a nerf. She's OP. No, honestly, I really do. I think my reasoning is she's got a crazy, huge, semi-global ultimate that actually does a lot of damage, and it's on an insanely low cooldown. No other champion has that.
Yeah, she's pretty ridiculous. She's all like skill shots at least.
That's true.
All right, and Shen, another we see him banned all the time. I mean, I think most teams just ban him just out of habit, just because.
You know what? I don't. I'll be happy not seeing Shen in a game.
Yeah, me too.
You know, honestly, I don't like the kind of play style he creates.
Yeah, you just have to like play completely differently. It's such a pain to deal with. Mm-hmm. But I mean, a lot of more pro teams can deal with them a bit better, just because there's a lot of coordination and they're really used to playing like that. But it's just so annoying to have to deal with him. Oh, and a Mumu.
A Mumu ban. That's again pretty common. Yep. All right, let's go. Predictions. Last two bans.
Oh God.
Let's do it. We got to do it. Malphite.
Kazakhs.
Kazakhs.
I hate
still
that champion.
Is he still ban worthy?
He's so strong.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. What's the new item called?
The spell.
The armor. I don't know.
I know what it does.
We'll find out.
I know what it builds into. I can't remember the name of it. If someone wants to tell us in Twitch chat, please, by all means, correct. Spellbreak. Oh, Requisite. Spellbreaker cuffs. Is that it?
Something like
that. Seeker's. Oh no. What is he? Spellbreaker. Seeker's arm guard. Thank you.
There we go.
Arm guard. Requisite. What are you talking about?
That item is really good. Just like theory crafting myself, because it just lets mids make something early on that they can deal with all these bruisers mid that we keep seeing. So maybe they'll just let Kazakhs go and use that. Nope, they're not. They're not.
Oh, there it is. There's the Kazakhs ban.
But I do really like that item for a lot of champions. It just lets you get up the armor and ability power really easily. It gives you some nice, safe mid-game power.
It's funny, I would argue, I think, and a lot of people that we usually talk to are arguing this, that it wasn't a necessary addition to the game.
It's nice.
It is, by all means. I mean, it's great. It sort of creates an item counter to the AD caster thing we've seen that's popped up in Season 3. But it's basically just a way to appease the people who wanted to complain about having to start cloth 5 pots in a lane where they normally wouldn't.
Well, it's not really the fact that you wouldn't normally start it. It's just it was awkward to build out of the cloth 5 pots. It just made timings really weird for peak damage or just trying to take advantage of your own champion's strengths and your enemy's weaknesses. Like having that delay in either your boots or more ability power, it made it really awkward, and I personally didn't like it, just being a mid player myself.
Yeah.
So I do like the item itself. I haven't actually gotten a chance to build it because I haven't played against any bruisers since it's been brought out, but
you apparently haven't had any junglers since it's brought out either.
Correct. And a Kale ban. Interesting. I've seen a few really good Kales lately.
She's strong Season 3. She's very strong.
She is very strong. A lot of utility, a lot of damage. So yeah, understandable.
I would argue what made her strong is probably the change of her passive and the change of the way Armor Pen and Magic Pen works in Season 3. So her passive is she has stacking armor and Magic Pen, right? On every attack, every auto attack. I think it's 3%. I think it's 3. I'm pretty sure it's 3% Magic and Armor Pen per auto. So with the way the new Spell Pen and Armor Pen works, it just makes her that much stronger.
Right, and she was always a strong champion, but she had a little trouble early on to get to her really strong phase. Now she's just a huge bully. It's so difficult to kill Kale.
Yep, definitely. All right, so we're gonna get into those picks pretty soon, and I'm actually like I'm pretty excited to see how this game goes. I gotta give teams, arranged teams, real credit playing on, I don't want to say like not unstable servers, but unstable game conditions in that it's very difficult when Riot's constantly patching to try to adjust to, the way you might have been playing, and the strategies you might have worked out immediately change as soon as Riot releases a huge patch. I got to give teams, Google, Ernst&Young, well done for getting it together. I'm really looking forward to see what strategies you bring out.
Yeah, it does take a lot of sort of fluidity for your own team compositions. You have to be adaptable, really, and it's something that I personally think patches come a bit too often, but you also don't want to let them go too long with like gameplay stagnating. But we do see Lulu picked out first. A good first pick. I mean, obviously she's going to be support, but like she just offers so much to a team that it doesn't really reveal yet what Ernst&Young wants to do.
No, it doesn't.
So I mean, we can just let them pick that, and there's not really going to be any counter picks quite yet. What supports do you think are good against Lulu?
Well, Lulu, what she brings to a lane, I mean, aside from that massive ultimate, health buff, she brings really good wave clear. So she's often, I mean, I've seen her play, often with people like Graves. Like you can see her play. Actually, I mean, you can really see her play with almost everybody. You can get a whole lot of poke if you pick her with an Ezreal. And so we're going to see, actually, there's the standard Nunu Kate pick from Google. And I think we talked a little bit about this last week.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple times. And it is a really popular lane composition. It's just so powerful, so strong to just harass with, get in and out. It makes Kate's early game just that much scarier.
However, it is not as powerful as it once was because
they reduced Nunu's helpfulness for his teammate. They gave him a little bit more. They gave him more speed, more base speed for himself. Yeah, they did, just to compensate for what they were taking away.
I thought it was just a straight nerf.
No, they compensated because what they did is they reduced the blood boil buff.
Yeah, I knew that.
So they gave Nunu a little bit more to compensate for himself, but he doesn't help his ally quite as much.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so we see Cho'Gath and Ezreal picks from Ernst&Young, and that, I mean, having a Cho'Gath with a Lulu on your team,
hilarious.
Yeah, it is. He'll take up an entire lane.
So I'm wondering where they're going to put him, because he literally can go in any of the remaining spots. He can go jungle, mid, or top.
So I mean, the bottom lane looks like it's going to be that poke comp I was talking about, Ezreal Lulu. It's really aggravating to deal with. You're dealing with mystic shots. You're dealing with glitter lances flying in your faces. Pix gets attached to somebody and fires auto attacks. It's really, really frustrating to deal with that.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm wondering what kind of mid champion and disengage champion that Google will be looking for, because with Cho'Gath you do want to have some sort of champion to help your team disengage, just because if someone gets knocked up, you want to be able to protect them.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if we're going to see something like maybe Xin Zhao or something that can knock people away. Maybe a Gragas mid, that would be cool.
Trundle.
Trundle.
We're going to see Trundle.
Yeah.
I miss Trundle.
I wish Trundle was good.
Yeah.
He is a really fun champion, but I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see what Google decides to go. Like, it's still don't quite know what their plan is. With Nunu Kate, you can really go any composition around that. They could go a 4 protect 1 comp, not as strong with Caitlyn, but still, I mean, it makes mid game really, really good. Or it may just see either carry jungler or carry top. So maybe something like Aurelia.
Yeah, I mean they could always go. Kate's got that long range. They could just go for a poke comp where you just poke the tower down. And I mean if their team's poke ends up being stronger than Ezreal Lulu, then they've got it. It just really depends on what they feel like playing into.
Yeah, and Nunu Kate really is good for just taking down towers very quickly, just because of that blood boil, the long range. But if you do run poke comp, you do need some sort of disengage. Ryze and Vi.
Okay, so this doesn't look as though they're going to go for that disengage like you're talking about, because both Ryze and Vi, I mean, Ryze's got to get fairly close to the action to get his spells off, and Vi has to get directly into the action to get everything done.
Right.
So they're essentially just going to go for almost a counter engage, or they're going to try to engage first maybe before Cho'Gath can hit those ruptures. They're going to try, and I mean against Ezreal, that's actually really good. You have the suppression on Ezreal. If Ryze can get close enough to land a snare, Ezreal's not going to be able to use Arcane Shift to escape.
Yeah, and Ryze's power just escalates so hard into the late game, so that's really going to compensate a lot for Kate's slightly weaker late game than any of the other AD carries.
Yep.
And
I was gonna say we've seen a game where basically the entire team was sort of revolved around building up Rise as strong as he could get, right?
Yep, that was Curse, I believe.
Yes, it was Curse, and that was a really great game. In the end, I don't think it ended up being successful because eventually Rise, he gets pretty tanky, but he's still got to be directly in the action. Once you've reached endgame, if someone gets caught, they get blown up immediately anyway.
Right, and
So,
I'm wondering, I wonder if they're going to put Vi jungler top, because Vi jungle really is very, very good. But she's also a good top. Once she gets farmed and she gets like tanky and she can really have a lot of sticking power, she's also a very good top laner.
mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to see what they decide to do with that. I do think Google may want to pick up a little bit of disengage, because they are really going like hard, dive into a composition, and I don't know, it could backfire if they misplay.
We'll have to see. I'm sort of interested to see, who the counter pick to Rise is going to be, and what Ernst&Young decides to do with the last couple picks, what they're going to build the rest of their team around. Do they want to create that super strong front line for Ezreal, or do they want to have something with a little bit more poke to it?
Yeah, Rise is one of those champions that he does have a slightly weaker lane phase than some other champions, but it's not as bad as it used to be in Season 2. With the movement speed changes in Season 3, boots aren't completely necessary for him, so he does have a strong early game still. Like, not as strong as some other champions, but he still has it, and unless you really commit to taking him out early, he just gets really scary late game.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what's going to happen, then Ernst&Young really does need to focus on making sure Rise either doesn't pick up steam and keep going, or just is completely shut down.
Huh. I like it.
I do too.
I really like those picks. Jackson and Nivea from Ernst&Young. That, I think, honestly, that complements the team very, very well. Jax, another extremely strong bruiser. Throwing that Lulu ult on top of him or Cho'Gath is going to create, absolute havoc if Lulu doesn't need to use it to save anyone's life. And Anivia creates amazing, amazing zone control and poke if necessary.
Yeah, and it is what Ernst&Young really is going for is a lot of just control. They want to control Google's team at all costs. I mean, Lulu, tons of utility in CC. Cho'Gath, tons of utility in CC. Anivia, wall and stun. Jax is stun. Ezreal just bounces around. They're gonna have a very, very interesting time in team fights if they execute it properly. If they can, not really suppress, but just stop or control Google's team, they'll be able to have Ezreal just sit in the back, bounce around, kill people. Anivia, same thing. Oh, but that's a lot more difficult to do if you have a Malphite diving into your team.
I was gonna say. So that's actually, that's pretty good if they need to. It's gonna come down to that who engages first. Essentially, they're gonna have Malphite go in, Vi engage, or they're gonna get the Rupture, Anivia stun engage, or Jax leap stun engage. So I think it's just gonna come down to which team is able to engage and get a better team fight off. And from both of these teams, it's like, it's going to boil down to really individual skill in terms of the zone control and who can get, who doesn't get picked off first,
Yep. If you just look at the teams here, we can once we get into the game, once they start it up, I really want to, it'll give you the pictures, let everyone really see what these champions are. But Google's team is they're just going to smash their heads into Ernst&Young, and that's what their entire team is designed to do, is just dive right in. But
it might work and it might not.
Right, exactly. Right? Ernst&Young has a lot of moves to prevent that from happening. They have a lot of kiting ability. Okay, tomatoes in the bathroom.
All right. Taken out of context, that makes for a very interesting. That's almost like that's one of those things where you have like a secret code.
Right.
Or you have like you're spying on somebody and like the tomato is in the bathroom. that's one of the that's just what it sounds like. Anyway.
Oh boy. Oh, so I'm wondering if we're going to see any level 1 invade. Let's see. What champions we got here? We got Cho'Gath Rupture is very good for that. Anivia Stun also very good for that. So Ernst&Young has a decent level 1 team.
You know what I wonder?
What's that?
This is sort of changing the topic completely on you.
Thank you.
No, I was just thinking about it because I haven't had much of a chance to play Season 3 myself, as I keep making very clear. But Vi versus Anivia wall, what happens?
She dives through it.
Does she?
She can jump through regular walls.
But isn't it one of those things where if you put the wall up as she hits it, it stop? Like, because I've seen I've seen a Nivea wall stop Malphite ults and stuff if you put it up at the right time and things. Like, it's weird, that interaction. So like I feel like you can never really tell until you see it.
That's possible. I don't know.
That's weird like that.
A Nivea wall does have some really weird interactions, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Because I mean, that would be, and even then, even if she does go through it, if we get a Vi ultimate and stuff goes through the wall and she dives into the team and then you put up an Nivea wall and the rest of the team can't catch up to her. So I mean, that's really like that diving for Google. They're gonna have to be very careful, you know, when and how they do it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's gonna have to be very coordinated because a Nivea wall will absolutely just destroy any sort of engage. Like, I don't know. We're just gonna see how it's executed. That's the real. It's gonna be a skill matchup here.
Yep, and that's the best kind of matchup to see. And now we finally got the game is going. We gotta wait for them to pick all their picks and that 3-minute delay. So go ahead, level 1 invade, begin.
All right,
talk.
I think we're gonna see one from Ernst&Young. It's my prediction, because they do have the Cho'Gath Rupture. They do have the Anivia, the Q for stun. And they also have Lulu, right? Yeah, they have, or is that Google? I have to remember now. Once they pick.
Lulu's Ernst&Young.
Yeah, so they've got a lot of ability, level 1, to just grab someone, pick them off. Google, not so much. They have a weaker team. Ryze isn't as good. Caitlyn is pretty decent with her trap. Nunu is Blood Boil or Ice Ball, I guess. But Malphite isn't that great in early fights. I don't know. I think we're going to see one from Ernst&Young.
We're actually having a little bit of an issue. Apparently Ravenite did not get into the game for some reason.
Oh, lovely.
So they may have to just try and restart the lobby.
Okay. Alright, well.
But that's okay. We can continue to...
Yeah, that's fine. Not a big deal. Maybe? Yeah, that's unfortunate. So, oh, yep, okay. They are going to restart that really quick. While they're doing this, I need to run to the bathroom really fast. So if you want to entertain our guests while I'm away for...
Should I wait? Should I call you Tomato? Is the Tomato in the bathroom?
I hate you. I'll be right back.
Alright, you have fun. Alright, apparently Ravenite has a cardboard computer, so just going to be me taking you guys through it for now. We're going to get back into this game as soon as we can. Hopefully we'll be able to prevent any sort of disconnects or pauses mid-game. We certainly wouldn't want much of that. Ravenite's just restarting the client. So, I don't know if anyone's hanging out in Twitch chat right now. I'm going to talk just a little bit about the new league system, and I'll use this as my sort of sounding board about how much I really, really do not enjoy it. No, I'm just kidding. I personally don't enjoy it, but I know that other people do, and it's if people are sort of really into that, StarCraft 2 sort of way of hiding your rating and just going for self-improvement through, seeing those leagues go up. That's actually a pretty decent way of doing it, hiding those numbers and that data. Doesn't always necessarily help people. But I mean, the one thing that I've noticed that's, you're kind of annoying, you're sitting in this game. I'm sitting in this game as a caster. I can't see anything about the players that I'm casting right now. I can't see what leagues they're in. I can't see what leagues they used to be in. I have to go and I have to click their little profile pages, so I have to be able to see that for myself. And now I'm looking, I can see that someone is in Silver League right now. I can see someone used to be in Diamond League. It's a little bit annoying to lose that sort of information that you once had, and it's going to take some getting used to. But I'm sure Ryan knows what they're doing. Anyway, so Ravenite's still just getting back in. He'll be back any second now, and then we're going to get this game going in full force. And I'm really excited to see this. And I think I hear the Tomato getting back from the bathroom as we speak.
I could hear you calling me Tomato from, like, my door. So.
Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, no, I was ranting a little bit about the league system while you were gone. What do you think about it? Hello? Have I lost you?
There
we go.
There we go.
What happened to you?
My microphone is special. I don't know. I'll have to get used to it, but I'm gonna reserve judgments until I actually have some more experience with it.
Yeah.
All right, so Raven Knight is restarting.
There he is.
Right?
He's in the
Okay.
game.
Yeah,
Okay, I was gonna say
okay.
it is actually, I like the challenger thing that you can sort of see the top 200 in any region. Like that's really nice. I do like that. And how they have people from the challenger system moving on to the league qualifiers like that. That works really well, in my opinion.
Yeah, it'll be.
Did you just say Roger Dodger?
Hell yeah, I did. You wish you were.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
Ravenite, come on,
Come on,
man.
Raven. You could do it.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh, it says
man.
he's in.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
okay.
he's in.
All right, we're good.
Excellent.
We are back in business.
Woo! All right.
Okay. GGS? I don't know. I'm looking for any spelling in the bands.
They went GOO before for Google. There,
Ah.
see, GGL, Google.
Aha. Cool.
Aha. Anyway.
Oh boy. All right.
All right, so you were saying that level 1 invade. You're
Yes.
thinking you really do think Ernst&Young. See, I know why you're gonna go E&Y now.
Yeah.
It's gonna bring that.
I think they have the team to do it. Whether or not they will is really up to them. But
Well, I mean, the thing about level 1 team fighting, and I learned this while playing with a bunch of people last season, like you and Dur and Wasabi and Swim and all those guys. But there's a real art to level 1 team fighting.
yes, there is.
And like Dur, lectured me on this. There's very specific points in where you have to stand. You have to all be ready for, that engage. You have to be able to catch them. You need the vision. You need to be able to see them coming for you to engage. The element of surprise is it can win you the fight.
Yes.
Just based on the element of surprise, no matter what your team comp is. So if you have that element of surprise and they just face check a brush, you could have, a whole team of auto attackers with no stuns, no CC, no nothing, and you can still win a level 1 team fight.
Yeah, it is a very, very delicate sort of art, I guess you would kind of call it. But I don't know. I mean, Rupture does give vision. So if you can rupture a bush even when you're just walking into it and happen to knock someone up, boom, they're dead. That's I don't know.
Google's got a decent team fight themselves. I mean, they've got traps.
Oh,
they've
yes.
got Rune Prison. They've got slows in both Malphite and Nunu. So, I mean, it's really, I think it just comes down to the teams, like how they feel about it personally.
Yeah.
I know personally I hate level 1 team fighting. It drives me crazy.
Google does not have that much hard CC this game. If you look at the difference in the champions, it's quite a big difference between the amount of knockups from Ernst&Young and stuns and just the polymorph from Lulu as well compared to Malphite Ultimate and Vi Ultimate. So
I respectfully disagree because they've got both those ultimates, which are, I mean, Malphite Ultimate is huge ultimate, and they've got they've got snares, they've got slows. I mean, they don't have. You're right. They don't have quite as many hard stuns. I think they've got one less. But overall, I think there's an equivalent amount.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just see. I can see a nice Cho'Gath rupture, just sending people up and then dying before they can do anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll definitely see how this goes. Game's about to start. We got about 3 minutes to go. And then we can have a look as soon as the countdown finishes here. We can have a look at the summoners and maybe do some analysis there.
Yeah, once the countdown starts up, I'd forgotten that we needed to wait. I was actually about to start doing that.
Good thing I was running my mouth.
Yeah, you're on top of it, man.
Yes, I am. All right.
A few seconds, we can jump right into that.
Yeah, we are, and it has begun, so now we can get into that. And we're seeing almost equivalent summoners from both teams, with only one major difference, and that being the mid lane champions.
Yep, Rise with teleport. We've seen Big Fat Gigi do it. We've seen, who was on Curse? Who did it? Liquid. Curse Liquid did it. If you have a teleport on Rise and know how to use it, it makes the game ridiculous. Like, Rise teleporting in with Rune Prison or just going off to farm and coming into a fight late with teleport is just it's game changing if you play it right.
Yep, definitely so. And both Ezreal and Caitlyn opting for that cleanse, and I think that that's it. The problem with cleanse is cleanse doesn't clean suppression, does it?
No, it does not.
So the problem with that is, if Ravenite does decide to target Simo every single time with that ultimate, Cleanse is not really going to do a whole lot for him. Mm-hmm. Whereas on the other hand, Cleanse can't cleanse. Tomato Orange is not going to be able to cleanse the how many knockups two knockups that Ernst&Young has in the Rupture and Lulu's Ultimate. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, it's an effective summoner. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, there's a lot of counter cleanse CC. So
It is, yes, but it's still just such a safe thing to carry, especially in organized play when you know as the AD carry that you're going to be targeted. You want to have that cleanse as sort of a backup. And I do want to make note that we are seeing Malphite top versus Jax top, and then Cho'Gath and Vi jungle. Those are both champions on both teams that could switch, so it's nice to see a Vi jungle. She is just so strong.
yeah, I'm really interested to see how well Ravenite pulls off those ganks, because it really comes down to, I mean, Vi's one of those champions that I think you really have a choice in what you want to level first, because all of her abilities really offer a different sort of utility. Her E offers a really quick jungle clear.
Yep.
Her W offers pure damage, and her Q offers damage and that cooldown reduction and gap closing.
Yeah.
So it's very, very tough to decide what kind of jungler you want to be. Let's see. I mean, personally, I think people tend to gravitate to Q first. Is it?
Yeah, the sticking power with Q is really good, especially on against someone like Ezreal, where you need to keep following someone who's jumping around. It is very useful, but yeah, you're right. You can just go almost any route and not be bad.
No, definitely not. So I'm going to see how well Ravenite lands those Qs, applies that W passive, and just shreds the armor of whichever lane she tries to go for. And then, of course, Cho'Gath jungling. I mean, you hit a Rupture, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the Ryze versus Anivia lane actually goes, because if you miss like an Anivia stun, then Ryze can pretty much just run up to you.
It's a very Season 1 lane.
It is, yes, it is. It is still a very strong. Like, they're both good champions still. Like, you can't really go wrong with either one unless you completely mess up.
It's very nice to see Anivia in a game. I mean, she's a very high skill cap champion. I mean, you might argue otherwise because you could just sit there, turn your ultimate on, and farm a wave, and that's it. But I mean, there's a lot of finesse, as Froggen could definitely tell you. Anivia is, for sure. Like, you have to be very good with her to know what you're doing, to not, screw your team over with, bad wall placement. It's a very delicate touch and go situation when you're playing an Anivia team fight.
Yeah, and hey, Wave, it's your favorite time now.
Skin analysis, yay! Oh boy, all right, let's see what we got here. We got Nunubot, which is a fan favorite for sure. From Yarius, I really do like that Nunubot. I hope he spams his laugh.
There's
Yarius,
no other
if you have the stream going on in the background, please just spam that laugh so we can hear it. And of course, on Ernst&Young, we have the ever-present Pulsefire Ezreal. We have Dragon Trainer Lulu, which is a very nice skin.
Yep.
I like that one. Bird of Prey Anivia.
That's also a great one.
Have you seen the new Anivia skin?
No.
Holy ball! Okay, you gotta search that after the game.
Okay.
if anyone's watching right now and has not seen the new preview, I don't know, it's always data mined, and it's like Amethyst Anivia or something like that.
Ooh.
It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't know what it actually is. I think someone asked if it was like a Pulsefire Anivia or something like that, and they were like, no, that's not what it is. It's like a new thing. But anyway, oh my god, it's beautiful.
Okay, so just another minute. I want to know if I was right about the invade, because I really think that Ernst&Young has a strong invade team. They really should. Okay, and finally we get in. I can get these up. We got Google Home, right? Yeah, that's what we got.
Yep.
Okay, let me get these portraits sorted out.
All right, have a look at the starting items already right off the bat. We have Harmonious Fists, who's actually running a double Fairy Charm Warden Pot, and I'm not really sure if I've ever seen that start specifically. I think, oh, you know what? There's must have been a misfire.
Oh no. That's the worst feeling in the world.
You know what, though? It's not. I mean, Fairy Charm is a very cheap item, so overall it probably isn't going to screw her over that badly. She's got 4 potions. She's got a ward. I mean, that's probably going to be enough for her to get back to lane and pick up the tier after farming up a little bit of gold, and then she'll be fine.
Yeah, we did see a ward come down from Google onto E&Y's Wraith, so they're going to be able to see when Mana Steel is coming through that area. But E&Y also did ward their own red and their own banana bush right here too.
Yep, good, really good level 1 warding from both teams here. Ernst&Young really taking the defensive position and preferring to ward up their own jungle rather than the enemies, and Google being pretty aggressive because they want to know when exactly the timing of Ernst&Young's jungle buffs and such.
Yeah, for as good as Ian-Y's level 1 team is, it is very difficult to invade onto a Caitlyn safely, just because her traps just give so much control. And we're actually going to see Vi starting red. Well, I wonder if she's going to go down towards bottom for an early gank.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's going to be, I mean, if you do pick up a red buff first, that really just means you want to pull off an early gank, because otherwise it's, blue is often used, when you pick up blue first as a jungler, you want to use it to sustain your mana, to try to farm as much as you can. If you pick up red, you have to use it, otherwise there's no real point in picking it up early.
Right, exactly. So either we're going to see an early gank bottom from Ravenite, or maybe after she gets the blue, she's just going to go right top and gank up on Plog.
Yep, definitely just going to see how that works out. And so all the lanes have started farming up, preparing their way into the game, and now we're already a lot of ward placement. Look at that, identical ward placement bottom lane from the supports. That's totally unsurprising at all. Yarius really wants to be able to camp his brush, and so we're just seeing both teams just sort of farm away until Yarius and Tomato Orange can sort of pick up a few skills. The harass then will surely begin.
Personally, I really like putting a ward down in the opposite bottom bush early, just because I hate being surprised by like a lane gank from a jungler. So it's a safe thing to do, and especially against someone like Nunu or even Lulu, who can just harass so easily.
Yeah.
It's just a safe ward to place.
Now, speaking of harassing easily, Plog and Frozen Fire really going at it. Frozen Fire trying to throw as many seismic shards as he can, and there's the bait on top of Plog. Ravenite's going to try and come in and land that Vault Breaker. There he does land it. The red buff slow going on Plog, trying to jump to a minion, but Ravenite picking up first blood on top of Plog 3 minutes into the game. Well done.
Yeah, Frozen Fire baited that so well. He just pulled Jax in, just hoping that Ravenite could come in just in time, and she did. Like he did. It was just so well executed. And that's one of those things you just have to be careful about top lane, because it's now going to be pretty tough for Plog. I mean, Frozen Fire can now go back, buy up an item. It looks like he started Fairy Charm, so we may be seeing a Philo Stone early, but it's so hard getting set behind that early top lane.
Yeah, and really frustrating as well to play against a Malphite who can sort of spam that Seismic Shard non-stop. It's just it's a single target ability, no skill shot required. If you have enough mana to sustain that constant harass, then you're going to do it. And so Plog is really just going to have a bit of an issue from here on out.
Oh, and we see Calvinsmal and Ravenite invading on Mana Steel. They know he's there now. And
yep, that is the help of that ward there. Ravenite actually picking up, getting ruptured by Mana Steel, but he did pick up the big Wraith, and that's exactly what they wanted. And that ward placement from Google really helping out.
Yeah, and since Google now knows that Mana Steel is up in the topside jungle, like Tomato Orange and Yaris can just push this tower fairly safely. They've got no ward coverage yet bottom, but they're safe for now. I mean, right now Mana Steel is swinging down. They may look for a gank here, but Google actually still doesn't have vision.
No, and I mean, but the thing is, though, there we go. Yarius goes in there just in time. Mana Steel trying to land the silence and the rupture on top of Yarius, but missing. And I mean, that might have gone too badly, but I mean, the thing is, Tomato Orange was harassing Simo so well that even if they had tried to engage, it might have ended up badly for them.
Yeah, and it was a good game sense from Yarius to know, all right, we're pushing up pretty aggressively. We saw Cho'Gath up top a little while ago. Maybe I should go check the river, and he checked right at the perfect time. It's just that those little game sense mechanics are really helpful, especially as a support, just to know where the enemy might be at a certain time.
Yep, definitely. And so we're actually seeing sneaky Ravenite going to try to come in for a lane gang, and so much harass going down on Simo. They are probably going to have to back, and so Ravenite, I mean, he's just sort of waiting for that ward timing to end up. I'm actually not sure if the ward disappeared when he was there, but now that Simo took so much harass, it's not going to matter anyway, and he's probably going to have to back, unless he really wants to wait in bottom lane forever. He is not going to do that.
I think the ward from Ernst&Young did die just before Ravenite got in there, so I don't think he was actually seen. But as you said, it's just Simo got just too low. He was being harassed just amazingly by that Nunu Kate combo, as we've said before, and we will keep saying it. It's just such a strong harass heavy lane, and it's really difficult without any sort of sustain. Like Lulu doesn't offer any sustain for Ezreal, so.
Yep, and so mid lane, again, just sort of a farm fest, releasing Harmonious Fist, going to try to hit 6. There's the, that root
Top
going
lane.
down, Harmonious Fist eating those overloads, and now Mana Steel coming in for the gank, just missing a Rupture, and Cal Invincible's probably going to be escaped, throwing an overload for good measure, and telling Mana Steel to get out of his face.
Yeah, and like this is sort of going to be an issue, because as I said before, if you don't sort of curb Ryze's power early, it's just difficult to do it late game. So we're going to see if Ryze did pick up the tier and his Ruby Crystal, so he's just going to be a really annoying lane opponent right now. And
let's see, I mean, the good thing about it being Anivia now is even though she had a little bit of issue, farming against him early, she's got her ultimate at level 6 and that chalice, so she just turns on her ultimate, farms the wave, and she can go do whatever he wants. And Ryze sort of has a little bit more issue wave clearing because all of his abilities are pretty much single target.
Yep. So we're gonna. I'm wondering if Harmonious Fist is going to take advantage of that. Oh, Simo taking so much damage bot lane. Holy crap.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, they've got a vision where now they've got complete bottom lane control, and they're really gonna need a gank from Mana Steel. But I mean, I'm not really sure that Mana Steel's even gonna be able to do anything. Tomato Orange and Yari is just owning that lane.
Yeah, and the thing is that Frozen Fire is now, safe enough top that Ravenite can just hang out bottom all the time. Oh, Mana Steel walking into
Invincible running into Mana Steel, and he's Ravenite going over the wall, actually using that suppression. Mana Steel just exploding. Harmonious Fist has his ultimate, trying to flash out, is going to have to drop. Oh, Yari is coming up, really good coordination coming up. Yari is trying to ward Talif away. Harmonious Fist being egged, and now it's going to go down. Ravenite picking up another kill. Simo going to try to come and sort of ward off the team, but a really good trap placement from Tomato Orange is going to prevent him from coming over there, and just huge counter jungling effort from Google.
Yeah, as I was saying before, Ravenite helped top lane, and now top lane is really fairly safe. I mean, Frozen Fire's just got that Philistone. He can just walk into.
Oh, top lane, the ultimate going down on top of Plug. Frozen Fire and Plug almost killing each other. Frozen Fire is both fall. Oh, that engaged. They were both at about a quarter health, and it was really just going to see if one of them could land their abilities first before the other could get all of them off. But that didn't quite happen. They both got ignited and died.
Oh look, we have a Ravenite lurking in the shadows, bottom lane.
Oh no, behind the turret gank. Here we go. The minions are there. Yarius is tanking that turret, and there he saved that Q, but Simo flashed in enough time. There's the ultimate landing, and Ravenite lands an E, and he cleanses it, and that's actually just going to be enough. He will be able to get out okay. That was so close and a really well orchestrated gank, but a good dodge from Simo.
What did he cleanse?
He cleansed the E from Ravenite.
What E? It doesn't. Maybe the armor debuff.
Maybe he thought the Ravenite had red buff.
That's possible.
In which case, that might have been. But that's it's a panic cleanse.
Yeah, no,
I've done it before.
I've done it all the time. It's especially if you're not used to personally myself. I'm not used to playing AD, so I hit cleanse whenever I think I'm in trouble. Yeah. So I mean, I get it. I thought I'd missed some sort of CC.
No, definitely not. And the farm overall, I mean, aside from bottom lane, the farm, I mean, decently, it's okay from Ernst&Young versus Google. Like, it's pretty even. And again, it's just that bottom lane. Plog and Simo just having so much trouble against that new Kate.
Yeah, and that's really, if you're playing Caitlyn and you don't come out 20 to 30 CS ahead, then you kind of lost lane. That's just the strength of Caitlyn, just because she's so good. Her poke, her general auto attack harassment is just so good. That it's just so easy to get a CS advantage. Frozen Fire actually taking a lot of damage top lane from Plug.
Yeah, Plug has really sort of started to hit that stride where Jax just gets stronger and stronger as the game goes on, and so even that harass from Frozen Fire not enough. Ravenite again, that massive jungler coming up top, landing that harass on top of Plug. There's the ultimate. He actually, even though he flashed it, that suppression landing following him all the way over, but it still was not quite enough, and Frozen Fire was not able to follow up.
Yeah, Frozen Fire didn't quite have his ultimate up to jump in on Jax as well. So it was just slightly too early of a gank, but it doesn't matter. If they force Jax out, they're not going to get a bunch of damage on this turret.
I'm just watching the new bot bottom lane. He's like eating minions, going delicious. I can't do that. I can't do the thing. Anyway, it looks like the Ravenite and Frozen Fire are going to try and take that top tower just so they can exert pressure elsewhere. And Ravenite's doing just an amazing job in exerting pressure on all the lanes right now, like just doing exactly what a jungler should be doing at this point in the game.
Yeah, we do see Mana Steel bottom. He is looking to come in, but he just walks right in.
Well, if he lands a Rupture here, I mean, we might actually see something happen, but Yarius dodging it expertly. And so now, I mean, Tomato Orange are going to be able to turn that around and just try to get a bunch of those auto attacks off. But now here comes Man of Steel just dropping a ward. He's going to try and come around and land another one. And there it is, but just missing. Tomato Orange getting out okay thanks to that speed boost from Yarius.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate that Man of Steel can't exert enough pressure right now. Just it's hard to compare to Vi right now. Just
mid lane. Watch what's about to happen here. Harmonious Fist out. Is he going to be able to clear the lane in order to prevent them from diving? No, they're going to dive even while under that pressure. Oh, Frozen Fire! That ultimate coming from. What was the range on that?
That was the very, very tip of that. I didn't think that was going to hit. Oh, look, Vi actually already picked up a Locket. I really like that. It's just because Vi is so strong early on in general that extra little tankiness and regeneration just makes it so much better.
Yeah, and here's a 5-man dragon from Google, and they're just going to take it down in no time at all. And it's just, I mean, it is a huge, huge game from Google right now. The gold advantage at about 4K 12 minutes in.
Yep, they're doing a really good job of taking little advantages. Simo getting jumped on.
Landing on Simo, and is he going to be able to get up? Look at that Yarius positioning his ult, but getting knocked up by that ultimate from Talif, and Simo is almost going to escape. He cleansed again. Tomato Orange getting one more auto attack up, and actually will do it. Ravenite, though, is actually probably going to go down to the turret. Yes, Talif getting that kill, but the tower dive from 4 people.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too much.
God, Simo and Talif did actually a fairly good job of delaying that as long as possible. They were able to get
valiant
out of it. Yeah, but there was just too many people. I mean, Frozen Fire just came up, too. It was just like, I didn't expect the 4th member as well, and it's just too much manpower bottom right now. And Harmonious Fist. I really think Harmonious Fist should be pushing a little more aggressively. I mean, right now he's getting to the turret, but he really, if his lane is really empty, he needs to be pushing hard on that turret, taking advantage of the roaming. But Ryze is actually going to come in right behind him now.
Yeah, Harmonious Fist has to be really, really careful. I mean, they have the ward, so he's going to see him coming, but it might just be too late for him. I mean, Calvincible's going to get in there. He does land the stun, and is going to try to land the harass, but I think Calvincible's just a little bit too strong for him right now. Those Overlords just dealing massive damage. He needs one more. Frozen Fire going to come in and just try and prevent. There's the flash, and Frozen Fire going to get in. Oh, the Rupture! Oh, Harmonious Fist getting egged. Are Calvincible and Frozen Fire going to be able to deal enough damage before Man of Steel wards them off? No, Harmonious Fist is going to get out okay, and a really good defense from that Cho'Gath.
Yeah, Man of Steel was there. Oh, he's just gonna pop a Rupture right on Frozen, make sure he can't go back. But no, he was there at a good time. Oh, Harmonious Fist's still there. He's not afraid at all.
No, I mean he's almost at full health already. I mean I don't know that there's much point in going back. He's got full health. He's got 2/3 mana. I think it's okay. He's really just gonna clear this this wave. They're gonna try and see if they can push in this turret, but I don't think it's gonna be quite enough.
Yeah, and just gonna take a quick look at the CS real quick. Plog has been doing a fairly decent job of farming hard top while Malphite's been gone. He's just taking advantage of Malphite exerting map pressure elsewhere, but getting himself farmed up, and that's really good as a Jax. If you can get farmed up, you can carry pretty well.
Yeah, and I mean right now it's looking as though the game might have to be on his back for the first little while until Simo and Harmonious Fist can catch up. So it's really, I mean, Plog is really just going to have to keep exerting that pressure, keep farming up until he reaches that, crazy unkillable bruiser status.
Yeah, Frozen Fire did already pick up a Sunfire though. He doesn't care about boots. He just wants to get tanky, man.
Yep, and there's the ward actually being placed down, knowing that Ravenite is really invading as often as he can. Good ward placement from Ernst&Young, so Simo and Talif did know about it, and so now they're a little bit safe from ganks, and there's a vision ward going down by Dragon.
I'm wondering if Plog can actually fight Frozen Fire right now. I'm not sure he can, but Frozen Fire is just gonna push. He's gonna keep doing this. He's gonna keep pushing top and keep roaming and keep putting pressure everywhere that he can. I mean, Google can now start swinging mid. They've got top and bottom turrets down. They can group up and take out mid. Oh, and we do see Talif getting caught a little bit by Yarius.
Yeah, just getting chased down. Yarius really wanted to try to get his team caught up, but there was no way. I mean, even Caitlyn blowing that net, Tomato Orange trying to get close enough. And there's an ultimate going down, and that was not quite what it was supposed to do.
I think it's supposed to hit people, isn't it?
Well, a little bit overeager, Frozen Fire.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks as though Google is really looking to engage, as often as they possibly can, and so it's almost like they're throwing caution to the wind, and they're a little less calculating, thinking that they can engage whenever they want, however they want, and someone will automatically be able to follow up. But Ernst&Young really doing their best to prevent that from happening, and they're doing a very good job.
Yeah, Google does need to be careful. I mean, if you get a little bit too confident, too much hubris under your belt, and you just keep diving in, it's like that's how games just turn around very, very quickly just by not being careful. So they do need, Google does need to play cautiously. They need to not just think they're, you know, rolling away with this game.
Yeah, and Plog and Frozen Fire really just started going at it. That Sunfire Cape really helping with the harass against Plog, but Plog is, I mean, they're again both very, very low. Frozen Fire does not have his ultimate up, though. If Plog can really just get a little bit more damage down, he's just got to be very careful to land his abilities in the right order. Oh, Mana Steel being chased by Ravenite. Ravenite's going to come up now. There's the ultimate going down on Plog. Once again, he flashes, but you cannot escape. The stun going down from Plog. Plog really needs to leap to something, and he does escape. Wow, Plog just doing so well in avoiding those ganks. He's flashing out. You know what? I would say even the fact that Vi follows him after he flashes, you know, he's getting out of range of Frozen Fire. So that flash really does help because it's much easier to sort of, you know, prevent yourself from dying to one person than to two.
Yeah, and Mana Steel is doing a really good job of assisting his teammates in surviving. He's just using all the benefits of Cho'Gath, all the crowd control, the ruptures, the silences, and just keeping his teammates alive when they most need it. So, you know, props to Mana Steel for knowing where he's needed and how to keep his teammates alive.
Yeah, but it's doing a very, very good job. I mean, Ernst&Young, there's no question about it. They're definitely on the back foot right now. But, I mean, they're doing their absolute best to just cling to this game, and they're not giving Google an easy time of it.
Yeah, and you know, Anivia is, you know, a little bit behind of Rise in terms of farm, you know, a good 30 CS, but Anivia is just all utility based. Even if she doesn't get, I mean, she will need farm obviously eventually, but she's still useful right now. She's still got the stun, she's still got the wall, and she only gets more useful as the game goes on.
Yep, and so we're really seeing, I mean, they want to, Google really wants to sort of push down that mid turret eventually, but it's so hard to do against an Anivia. Like, they want to get this down so they can get the map controls necessary, and now they're just sort of sitting in an Anivia ultimate, and it's hard to do that. They just can't get enough time to push the turret. Harmonious Fist doing an excellent job of preventing his mid turret from going down.
Yeah, Frozen Fire does have his ultimate up though, so I think this is going to be another dragon for Google. I'm not sure if E&Y is going to want to contest this. I don't think they should. They're not
I would be very, very careful, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you know, one Vi ult or Malphite ult would be all it takes, and a little bit of a ward going down, but it's pretty much a free dragon for Google. And Ernst&Young just going to have to try and farm and catch up.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do. They just need to do their best of, you know, they're doing well even though they're playing from behind. And right now, Plog looks like he's going to try and get some pressure up on this top turret, but Frozen Fire is going to go up there and try and defend it. I'm not sure. I mean, Plog shouldn't be able to take it out in time. Well, actually, he might. He does a lot of damage.
No, he does a fair amount. I was going to say, Plog, this is exactly what Plog needs to be doing. He takes that turret out, and then he can finally help out his team elsewhere on the map, because he's right now the strongest member of his team. He really needs to be up there helping him. Oh, looking as though Google might finally, there goes the mid turret, and that vision control is just going to happen. Plog and Frozen Fire going at it, and I wonder who's going to win this one-on-one fight here. Plog really wants to take Frozen Fire up. Frozen Fire,
no.
I mean, the Ignite going down, I'm not really sure who's going to win this. Oh, the teleport in from Calvincible. He's coming over there.
Nice.
The lead to the ward. Well done, Plog. And he does escape once again with his life.
Plog doing a really good job of keeping his head on his shoulders, knowing just how far he can keep pushing Frozen Fire. And I'm actually surprised at just how much damage he's actually doing to Frozen Fire. Even though Frozen Fire does have the Sunfire, he's got, you know, a nice bit of tankiness and health. Jax is just so strong.
Yep, magic damage and, you know, physical damage all in one. It's very, very hard to build against, you know, a player that's got multiple types of damage.
Yeah, and I believe that was the first teleport we've actually seen from Calvincible. So I'm wondering, they may get to the point, Google may, that they're just going to end up having Rise split push and then force objectives, and he can just teleport in when he's needed.
Yeah.
But
we did see that before from Curse. That's exactly what they sort of tried to pull.
But I'm actually a little surprised he didn't use it to continuously exert more force on all the lanes, along with Vi, early on. But, I mean, neither here nor there at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're just seeing, again, Ernst&Young just doing their best to farm their jungle. They're really trying to keep up. Simo and Tala really just picking up all the farm that they can that's being pushed back to their tower. And Google really looking to make some plays right now, because, I mean, the longer they go, they're just going to, you know, let Ernst&Young catch up. So they really should make these plays while they're ahead.
Yeah, and look at how deep Frozen Fire is warding. I mean, look, the ward coverage from Google is just so good right now. They've got red warded, they've got the bush next to Wraiths warded, and they can just pretty much see all of E&Y right now in their own jungle, and that's really, really dangerous for E&Y.
Yeah, really dangerous for Plog specifically. Now there's 3 people heading up, and Plog sees it coming. He's really good like that. He's got the ward ready to jump to it. Plog knows exactly. He's got that game sense, knows exactly when they're coming up for him. They had the ward coverage, and he's going to be safe.
Yep. And, oh, we're actually going to see Man of Steel and Plog, you know, standing at this turret, making sure that this doesn't go down. But, oh, they're going to jump right on Ravenite. Oh, but she gets out.
Yeah, Ravenite getting a little bit too close to that turret. I mean, it is a 2v3. There's an Ezreal ultimate coming up from there. And look, Yarius and Tomato Orange getting cut off by that wall. And so looking as though Simo and Harmonious Fist are going to escape. They were Google really looking to hard engage there.
But EY doing so well to make sure that they can't. I mean, that's exactly what they said. So much kiting ability, so much just general crowd control that they can throw down if they really don't want to fight.
Yep, and so, I mean, we might see this 5-on-5 stand. I wonder if Google's just going to get so impatient that they're just going to dive on top of the turret. And I mean, that's the thing. You really, like, one of the games we were saying earlier, we were talking about how patient you really have to be in a standoff like this. You never want to make the first move if it's not absolutely in your best interest. And, I mean, Google really has to be careful in that respect.
Especially against a team with just so much control that they can throw down. It's really scary to dive into a turret like that. But, oh, they're just going to group up. I wonder if Google wants to bait this, just any sort of face check. But, nope, they're not going to be able to. E and Y playing really, really safely, going around the long way to make sure that they just don't run into anyone.
Yep, as for people who are watching, you know, you solo queue warriors, this is how you do not throw a game. Okay, watch Ernst&Young's gameplay right now. They're up against a superior team right now. Like I'm superior in terms of, like, you know, gold. They're down by 6K. That's quite a bit, but they're still not throwing the game. They are fighting it out, and that is how you play League of Legends.
Yeah, it's just utter patience, and that just goes hand in hand with Anivia. We've seen it from CLG EU, what we've seen 70-minute games from them where they play from behind, and this is exactly how you play from behind. You just play very patiently, very carefully, just waiting for opportunities, farming up where you can. And, I mean, the gold gap is large, but they're doing a good job of making sure that it doesn't get even larger.
Yep, definitely. And so, I mean, looking at all the mana regen from Harmonious Fist, got a Catalyst, got a Tear, and a Chalice. And so finally, I'm thinking Harmonious Fist has enough gold to pick up a damage item. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, Calvincible getting dangerously close there.
Yep, he does pick up the Blast one. He's going to be going for that Rod of Ages, but all this mana regen is definitely necessary for holding a turret like they need to. And Simo, he's by himself against this new K combo, and he may not be able to hold this turret for it. Oh, yeah.
No, and down is Talus to the rescue. Okay, so they're gonna a little bit of damage going down. There's the wave clear from Simo. They're gonna try to do a little bit of harass, but again, Tomato Orange is a little bit stronger, and so I mean they can't really afford to eat the harass from Tomato Orange, who already has that Bloodthirster, and it looks as though it's building up to Phantom Dancer next.
Yeah, they just can't quite fight yet. Oh, but we do see Man of Steel and Harmonious Fist swinging around the back. Oh, and we see Plog coming down too. I wonder if they're gonna get caught here.
Man of Steel really needs to land this Rupture. I think he waited a little bit too long. Actually, only landed the Rupture there. Harmonious Fist getting over the wall. Tomato Orange is probably... Oh, there's the cleanse. And now instead, Yarius might go down here. Look at that. Oh, that is one large Shogoth. Oh my god, Yarius. Are you actually going to be able to escape here? There's a flash from Man of Steel. Plog is able to take down Tomato Orange at bottom. Yarius, actually, there's Simo getting that final Mystic shot off. And that is exactly what Ernst&Young needed to get back into this game.
That was really, really well done. I mean, there were a couple missed skill shots, but that's exactly what they need to do. They just need to catch people. Oh, and they will get this dragon too. That was just so well timed. And oh man, Tomato Orange and Yarius were just a little overconfident. They didn't see Mana Steel and Harmonious Fist sneaking around this long way through the dragon area, and it was it was perfect. It was exactly what needed to happen.
Yep, they did it very, very well. And then again, they've closed the gold gap. It used to be 6, now it's about 4. So that's exactly what needed to happen. Look, Man of Steel now going in on Calvincible. He needs to be really careful here. But so much damage. A good wall. There's the counter engage from Frozen Fire. Harmonious Fist eating so much damage. And now Ravenite coming in, eating on... Oh my goodness, the ultimate going in on Harmonious Fist. Harmonious Fist does get egged. Plog being chased off by Calvincible, and Harmonious Fist is going to go down. Just the auto attack barrage from Frozen Fire and Ravenite. Plog might be able to escape the flash from Calvincible over the wall. Plog just doing his best to run around the jungle and lose Calvincible. But now comes Frozen Fire. Plog is going to run into the other side of the jungle. Oh, the slow landing and the stun. Oh, not going to be enough. Frozen Fire getting that final attack off. Plog will go down, but a valiant effort again, just trying to get out. Oh no, Man of Steel! Man of Steel! Oh no, Tomato Orange and Yarius are back up. So much action happening right now. Tomato Orange landing that Q, and Ravenite coming behind the turret. An ultimate going down. Ravenite getting the kill before Tomato Orange's ultimate landed. And that's, I mean, what else can you say about that? I mean, the issue there is, I mean, they were sort of getting really confident off of their recent, double kill on that dragon, and so they really thought that they outnumbered Calvincible, but already the rest of the team was starting to come up, and they, Google was able to turn that around very, very quickly.
Yeah, one of the most important things is even if you get a little bit ahead, is to realize you still need to be careful. Harmonious Fist going to get jumped on. He doesn't have Zeg. He's going to fall, and E&Y just overstayed their welcome. They did get too confident. They felt they were feeling good. They wanted to push a turret a little bit, but Frozen Fire just came in with his ultimate and just completely tore down everything they had just done.
Yep, small victories, Ernst&Young. That's what it comes down to. When you're that far behind in a game, I mean, you can't, if you win a big team fight, you're going to have to win a lot more big team fights to get completely back into the game. And, I mean, I guess Ernst&Young felt that they were on even terms already.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. What they really should have done was just swing bottom, take out this bottom turret, and then just back off, be really patient with it, buy up. That was the other thing. They won a fight, but they hadn't bought from it. They were low, they didn't have enough items. Oh, we see a nice little sneaky Baron here from E&Y.
Oh, I really like this play. This is a huge play from Ernst&Young. And again, I'm very, very surprised by this ingenuity here. I mean, they just came off a pretty big loss. They lost an inhibitor. They lost almost all of their players. Harmonious Fist went down twice. And now they're going to get a full Baron off it because, Frozen Fire coming in. He tried for the steal. The ultimate going down on Nanosteel, but Nanosteel is going to go down to the ultimate from Frozen Fire. And now, looking as though Google is going to try to clean this up, Talif is going to go down next. And Plog going to try and jump to some Tomato Orange and escape, but it's not going to be enough. And Talif being chased, Harmonious Fist getting ulted by Caitlyn, Frozen Fire being slowed by Talif, a really good slow, but Harmonious Fist I don't think is going to be able to escape. And Simo and Ravenite going at it. Ravenite just chasing down so much health on Ravenite, and now Frozen Fire getting another kill. Harmonious Fist dying once again, and Ravenite chasing the rest of Ernst&Young into their base.
Man, Ernst&Young just couldn't quite do Baron fast enough.
They had the right idea. That's really what it came down to. Yeah.
But Harmonious Fist also wasn't quite there. He was late to the fight. An Anivia wall and stun would have been really, really helpful there, but he just wasn't in the fight in time. And Google did a good job of knowing that they didn't see Ernst&Young. They had an idea. There was no vision. They didn't see anything here, but they just knew that something was up.
Yep, and so that's, they lost the Baron, but they won the fight and an inhibitor. So, sometimes it's okay to give up Baron. It may very well have been that Google knew that that's what they were going to do, and they just said, okay, well, they can't take out Baron fast enough, so we'll just stroll up lazily once they're almost done, and we'll, destroy them all.
Yeah, so now, despite E&Y picking up Baron, and Simo does still have it, as does Talif, so that's at least good for them, but Google now has the top and mid inhib down. They can just focus all their efforts on bottom. And having the Google team right now all in one place is really scary for Ernst&Young.
Yep, definitely. That team fighting potential. It's just that Frozen Fire and Ravenite ultimates have been absolutely massive, and they've got just the right amount of tankiness to enter, directly into the back lines of Ernst&Young without any danger of dying themselves.
Yeah, here's the thing. Ernst&Young can possibly sit back and just farm up all these waves that are going to be coming into their base, especially because of Anivia just has so much ability to just sit there and farm. But they're also going to have to worry about this bottom turret and bottom inhib, and if they lose that, it's going to be really almost next to impossible, I think, for them to stop Google.
And barring some fantastic XPK plays, some amazing Kassadin, business going around, dancing around in Nexus turrets, but I don't think we're going to see much of that without a Kassadin, so.
Oh, is that what needs to happen for Kassadin?
Yeah, maybe.
We do see Yarius and Ravenite, poking up into this little alcove over here, but they can just walk out, no problem, no big deal.
Yeah, looking at the split push from Calvincible, the split push, arguably not quite necessary right now. He's just trying to make the super minion waves push faster, and if absolutely necessary, he has teleport up. He's able to get to bottom lane if he really needs to. And it looks as though there's the teleport coming in to bottom lane. It looks like they're going to take this turret by storm. Calvincible, Ravenite going right in on top of Plog, and Plog going to try to dish out the damage back. And the turret now goes down. They're down to only their Nexus turrets. Ravenite going right in, and the combo. Frozen Fire going up. Mana still getting ulted, but it's not going to be enough. And look at Talif actually ulting herself. Simo and Top actually just no, the final overload going down. Top does go down.
Oh,
and
Plug is still alive.
It's amazing, but now he goes down once again. That final snare and overload. Calvincible eating a lot of turret damage, does go down himself. And now Harmonious Fist gets egg and goes down again. Ravenite, they're shooting things into the into the fountain, but I think that's going to be it for Ernst&Young. Google is going to take this game down, and that is going to be it for Week 4.
Wow, that entire game was riding a lot on Ravenite and Frozen Fire ultimates. Just that whole balls to the wall straight play of diving Simo. They can just pick Simo, Ravenite ults him, and then as he's coming down, just Malphite flies right in and hits him too. And there was so much damage and CC going on Simo that he couldn't do anything about it.
Yep, definitely. And I mean, I would say, like, you know, Ernst&Young definitely did their absolute best. They were playing from behind pretty much the entire game, and they were doing very, very well. But I mean, again, just one bout of overconfidence can be enough to really tip the scales in the enemy team's favor.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that's a theme we see over and over. It's overconfidence and losing your patience. And it's something that I just want to reiterate to everyone, is that if you want to win a game, just be patient and just take little advantages when you can. And you know, it's just something you learn from experience.
Yep, definitely so. So that is going to be it for us, I believe, for this week. Again, Week 4, that was Google versus Ernst&Young, and an excellent game it was. So for AHGL, I am WaveOfShadow.
And I am Soniv. We were your Team Liquid casting golems, and we thank you for joining us.